Hi guys, this is Dr. Daulton from Hammond Chiropractic, and today I have another interview for you. Now this is a really interesting one. This is my patient Annette, and I have actually found her to be one of the most fascinating patients that I've ever worked with just because of what I saw on her x-rays. So what I want to do is I just want to kind of have her share her story with you guys, and we're actually going to look at her x-rays together so you can see what I'm talking about, and we'll go over a few things about that in just a minute. But why don't we start first? Why don't you just tell everybody who you are to start with, okay?
Okay, I'm Annette. Hi, nice to meet everybody. I'm a logistics manager for a local company in Chicago. I have two little kids, 3 and 5, so I'm running around. I also have a 21-year-old too.
And you look way too young for that. You probably hear that a lot, right?
No, I hear that I'm older actually.
Oh, no. They tell me that too if it makes you feel any better.
Okay. Yeah.
So why don't I have you tell them what it was that you were feeling before you came into the office that made you decide to come and see me to begin with?
Well, I lived with pain ever since I had back surgery back in '09. I've had constant pain where my hips, I was having trouble sleeping. My back just constantly ached. My neck would constantly ache because, with the surgery, it throws off all the rest of the things going on back there. So I just constantly lived in pain and had trouble sleeping.
Okay. And now that's one thing I do want to bring up at this point is she talked about the surgery. Tell them specifically, because you didn't have just one surgery, right? You actually had...
No, it was just one.
It was just
a
one?
spinal fusion.
Okay.
L4, L5, L5S1. They did it all in one.
In one time they did
yes.
it. Okay, so they basically fused 3 different segments, your L4, your L5, and your sacrum. And actually, she's given me permission to put her x-rays up on the screen here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now and just point out to you guys where the fusion actually happened. It's interesting to see if you never see these things on an x-ray before. But one thing that I want to talk about here is what happens after you have a spinal fusion, because what a lot of people don't understand is that when you fuse those bones together, they don't move at all anymore, all right? So in order for someone like Annette who's had the surgery to be able to have her normal range of motion in her back, to be able to bend and twist and do all kinds of things, what happens is that the bones above and below where it's been fused, they have to actually work overtime to make up for that lack of movement. So what actually ends up happening is that you wear the discs out and the other joints out faster than you typically would when you've had a fusion, and then eventually the problem actually spreads through your whole spine. So with what she's describing, how she starts to feel it in the neck and the middle back and everywhere else, it's because of that that actually happens. And now when you started coming into the office, then what's your experience been like since you've been getting adjusted now?
I feel great. I'm sleeping better. I'm not tossing and turning at night. I'm actually getting 6-7 hours of full sleep without waking up.
Which is good for a mom, right?
Yes, definitely. My job is probably worse, but yeah. So, the sleeping has really helped me a lot. I feel a lot more relaxed. I can move. I just feel great. Excellent.
Like a brand new woman, basically, at that point.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's actually the reason why I had asked you to talk to everybody, because this is in a short period of time, right? How long have you been coming into the office now?
3 weeks now.
About 3 weeks, yeah. And you started, I think you told me the first time about the sleeping after about 3 visits, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was pretty quick that you started to see that change. And one other thing I wanted to bring up with this video, and this is the other reason why I wanted to introduce her to you guys, is that a lot of people have the misconception that if you have back surgery, you cannot see a chiropractor now. And actually a lot of surgeons and a lot of medical doctors will discourage you from seeing a chiropractor. But really, it's one of the best things that you can do after you have the surgery, because like I said, if we can keep everything lined up properly in your spine, you're going to not wear it out as quickly as you will without doing that. You've got to do something to maintain your spine after that point, and chiropractic is a really, really good option for these types of cases. So that's what we want to talk about. Did you?
A lot of doctors, they refer you to physical therapy most of the time. So every time I would go in and complain, my hips, my back, I feel the pressure, the pain. Sure. It's always physical therapy, which has never worked for me. I've been to physical therapy probably 7-8 times, and I did water therapy, everything, and it didn't work for me. This is what's working for me, and that's the way I feel great.
Good. No, I'm really glad to hear that. And I think, too, you can definitely affirm this just because you've been through the physical therapy. It's completely different than what we do, wouldn't you say? You know, and if you guys aren't familiar with the difference there, physical therapy, their focus is on exercise. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with that. Physical therapy helps a lot of people. But what we find really powerful is when you combine the physical therapy and the chiropractics together. That's actually a really, really important thing. Because one of the things you want to think about is that when you're exercising, no matter what, even if you're just going to the gym and you're trying to strengthen things, if you have misalignments in your spine, you're actually making it stronger to hold everything out of alignment, if you think about this. So you're actually making the condition worse. So when you see the chiropractor, you get everything lined up properly, and then you go and strengthen. It's a whole other experience because now you're strengthening and encouraging your body to actually hold everything in the normal alignment, and it's very powerful that way. But I'm really excited that I'm able to help you because,
I feel a lot better. I'm excited I chose to do this. So,
yeah, good. No, I'm glad.
I'm a believer now, and I'll always tell people, I mean, it works. It really does work.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. And we help, like I always tell people, we're very fortunate that we help a lot of people in the office, and I feel very grateful for that. But I want to really thank you, too, for sharing your story with everybody because I feel like this is something that, will really help people to understand more about what happens, especially when you've had a surgery in your back.
Definitely.
Okay.
It does work.
Good. Is there anything else you want to say? Or
Nope.
I covered everything?
Yeah.
I think that was pretty thorough, right, guys? All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching us today. I hope you found that educational and informative. And we'll see you on the next video then.
Bye.